Hi, Henk Akkermans here, and this is Supply Chain Dynamics, Chapter 5, Sysdea Gameplay 9, Supplier Communication Delays. What we saw in the previous gameplay is that there's a major difference in the behavior of the ordering pattern of customers when they are informed quickly as compared to when they are informed with a more considerable delay. And what we saw there was that a long delay was actually quite beneficial because customers tend to make the problems they fear worse. What would happen if we would have do the same thing with the suppliers? Well, we have a standard of suppliers perception delay of 6 months. Suppose that we don't inform the supplier so quickly. Would it also improve things much more? And as you see, it doesn't. Actually, those suppliers behave the way that we would like them to behave. They behave in a way that when you tell them sooner that they should ramp up, they will indeed ramp up sooner and therefore have a smaller degree of amplifications as a result of their more timely response. This is the response with 3 months communication delay. What if we have 1 month? Would that even be so? A very short link between the suppliers and the OEM. Well, then you see that there's a lot of the amplification is reduced. The lead time expectation for the customer is also a lot lower. Interestingly, it's not just the supplier. It actually is also slower. You can also see it here. You can see here that the pink line, the capacity, needs to be increased a lot less in this case. So the suppliers are behaving what we would call rational in the sense that when they see an opportunity to sell more, they will actually invest and sell more. So for them, it's better to have a very short perception delay. So no white lies in terms of not very quickly informing the customers. Ideally, you would say, well, let's have a really long lead time communication with customers, and let's have a very short one with suppliers. And yes, that would work quite nicely. But in practice, is that really a feasible concept? Because in practice, those same suppliers will talk to those customers. Suppose that we have the same policy all around of just short lead time communication to customers and to suppliers. What would happen then? And you see that at least it's a lot less bad than it used to be when we had that supplier delay of 6 months, but still not very desirable. So somewhere we have to find a mix. Apparently, telling white lies is not such a great idea when you have two sides of the supply chain that both listen in. Ideally, you would like to have a very short link to your suppliers, and well, let's give it a medium-sized link with your customer base in terms of speed of response. And this is sort of what ASML nowadays has, you might say, and many OEMs. So they try to be not so very open to the customer side, but very closely integrated with their suppliers. By the way, what they also do is that they have made their suppliers much faster in ramping up. So on top of this stuff, they will often have that the supply base is quicker able to ramp up and ramp down capacity. And those measures in combination make it not so very important to, if you do or if you don't, tell little white lies. Because together, as you will see here, with a fast ramp up from suppliers, very good close connected suppliers, you can be pretty open to your customers. Suppose it if you're concerned that the information from your suppliers leaks. So it's the combination again that has the good result. Telling little white lies is perhaps not so bad, but in praise of lies, no.